Guys, it's me. It's day 2 of online learning. I'm excited. Let's jump right into it. We're going to start off with our warm up. For your warm up, I want you to figure out what fraction of the letters in your name are vowels. Okay? So think about your name. And then think about how many letters there are in your name. And how many of those letters are vowels? So I'll give you a couple seconds to think about that. If you want, you can pause the video right here and work on your warm-up. Hi. So let's take a look at some of the things that you may have come up with. I'm going to set an example with my name. So my name is right here, okay? So my name has a total of 4 letters. So that's going to be my number on the bottom, my denominator, okay, for my fraction. Just like that, okay? Now I had asked you guys to identify how many of those letters in your name were vowels. So for my name, I have 2 vowels, the letter O and the letter E. So the fraction of vowels in my name is 2/4. We know that 2/4 is equal to 1/2. So my name is half vowels. How about yours? Why don't you guys go ahead and share with me in the comment section below? Why don't you guys share with me what the fraction of your name, the letters in your name were vowels? All right? Now we're going to jump into our lesson. Supplies for today that you're going to need for your lesson are going to be a notebook. We're going to be doing another problem string today. And your student book. No home connections today. It's a little bit of a shorter day. Okay, let's get to work. So before we continue our work today, I want to review the strategies from yesterday's lesson. So yesterday we talked about 2 different strategies when subtracting and using number lines. The first one is finding the difference. So that is when you look at 2 numbers and you find the spaces between them, okay? So you can start from your smaller number and then move up to your bigger number and find how many digits there are in between, all right? The second strategy that we used was removing or taking away, and that's when you start with the bigger number and you have a certain amount to take away from that. So yesterday, for example, we did a problem about how old Timmy was. And so that's when we could use the, when Timmy was born. And that's when we can use the removing or taking away strategy, okay? To review those strategies one more time to make sure that you guys are understanding it, I have a problem up here on the board. I want you to go ahead and copy down that problem into a new page in your notebook, not your handbook, just your notebook, okay? So open up new page. If you need some time to find a new page, you can pause the video here. All right, and for the rest of us who are ready, if everyone, I'm hoping everyone's ready. Let's go ahead and write down this problem on a new page. We're going to start subtracting 256 minus 229, okay? We're going to be using both of these strategies today for the same problem. Whoa, all right. So I'm first going to use my find the difference strategy. And I'm going to find my right marker first of all. So I'm going to draw my number line here. Okay? I'm going to place both of my numbers on my number line. I'm going to start with the smallest number, which is 229. I'm going to end it over here with my biggest number, which is 256. I want to make sure I get these numbers right, okay? With the finding the difference strategy, what that means that I need to do is that I need to find out how much space is here. You do this a couple of different ways. I can count them individually and put individual tick marks in there, but that might take too long. The other thing is that I can use my knowledge of rounding and multiples of 10 to help me figure this out. So, for example, for this first one, I would need 1 more to get to 230. Okay, so that's plus 1. Okay, and here I'm at 230 now. To get close to 250, I know that I would need to go up to 250, which would be right there, for a total of 20. Okay? And then finally rounding all the way up, sorry, not rounding, but counting all the way up to my next number, which is 256. So now I have added 6 more. Okay? So if I take the 1 that I moved from 229 to 230, plus the 20 that I went from 230 to 250, and the 6 to get to my final destination of 256, I can see that the difference between 229 and 256 is a total of 27. Okay? So again, this is the finding the difference strategy. By using our number line here, I have started with 229 and went to 256. Instead of counting individual tick marks to figure out how many numbers are between 229 and 256, I broke it down by rounding to the nearest 10. So from 229 to 230 was 1. From 230 to 50 to 250 was 20. And then from 250 to 256 was 6. I can gather all those numbers together to get to 27. Let's take a look at the next strategy. For our second strategy of removing or taking away, I'm going to build my number line once more. Okay? This time, I'm going to start here on the far right with my biggest number, which was 256. Okay? And this time, to use the removing strategy, I'm going to remove my 229. To do that, I'm going to break this down by place value. I'm going to break down this 229 by place value. Okay? I'm going to start off with my biggest amount that I can remove, which is 2 in the hundreds place, so I can remove 200. Okay? So that means I'm going to take a huge leap this way. I have now subtracted 200 to get to 56. Okay? Do we all see that? I move from 200 down to just 56. Okay? And then I'm going to remove my next number in my place value from biggest to smallest. The next one is a 2 in the tens place. So I'm going to remove 2 in the tens place, which is 20. So if I remove 20 from that, now I'm at 36. Okay? And I still have one more number up here, the 9 in the ones place. So that'll be my last removal. This is the last thing I'll be removing. So since I've gone to 36, I'm going to remove this here. I'm going to remove the last 9 that I had. And this will take me to 27. Okay? So now we've solved the same problem, 256 minus 229, using both the finding the difference, which is finding the distance between two numbers here, the number of digits here between 229 and 256, and by removing. And so we started with the bigger number, 256, and removed, in order of place value up here, each one of these digits. So 2 in the hundreds, 2 in the tens, and 9 in the ones to get to 27. So we've gotten the same answer using both strategies. All right, so now that we've had a practice with these two strategies, we're going to roll out some problems for a problem string, okay? And this is going to be built on the problem that I just went over with, the 256 minus 229, which you should have written in your notebook. So below that problem, go ahead and draw a little squiggly line. We love squiggly lines, okay? And underneath that, I want you to write constant difference problem string. I'll repeat that one more time. Constant difference problem string. Maybe I'll put a title here as well. The magic of iMovie. Okay. So let's go ahead and write that down as our problem string title. And I'll be writing up some problems on the board. Okay. A reminder with problem strings. You want to work smarter, not harder. Use what you've previously built in your previous problems to help you with the next one. And the problems are going to get a little bit harder each time. Ready? Here we go. All right, so I have brought back up the example. I should move this way. That we started off with, okay? I have left out the two names of the strategies that we have worked on. And now these are our problem strings. So I want you to start off with number 1. First one is 262 minus 235. Number 2 is 260 minus 233. Number 3 is 254 minus 227. And number 4 is 257 minus 230. For each one of these, I want you to build a number line to help you subtract. I want you to choose one of these two strategies to use. So I want you to, in your notebooks with these problem strings, use either the finding the difference strategy, okay? Finding the space in between the two numbers, or the removing strategy, starting with the bigger one and taking away or removing to solve each one of these problems. Okay? Good luck. Let's get to work. Unpause this video when you're ready to continue. All right, answer time. What did you guys discover? What did you notice? What did you notice? Yes. So, yes, the answers were all the same. The answers for all those were 27. But when did you discover that? Yeah. Good. Yeah, so let's take a closer look again at those. As you were taking a look at some of these numbers, you guys started to see the first one was 262 minus 235, and you're like, all right, I can do this. Sure. During our number line, you figured out that your answer was 27. For the next one, you notice that this first digit went down by 2 numbers, and the second digit went out by 2 numbers as well. So the difference for those was also 27. For the next one, you notice that this number went down by 6. This one went down by 6 as well. So your answer there was 27 as well. Finally, for your last one, the number went up by 3 here, and also went up by 3 there. So this number line, these number lines for number 1 through 4 would have showed you what a constant difference is. So again, remember, with problem strings, we're working smarter, not harder. Good. Harder, okay? So if you had built your number line before and got the answer here for 27, and then gone to the next one and said the answer is 27, and then gone to the next one and said, wait, these numbers are going down by the same amount. So the answer has to be 27. Right? Good. For those of you detectives out there, great job. All right, let's move on to our next. So before we head out, a couple of things I want you to think about today. Relationships are also found in numbers. Okay? Just like we found out in our problem string today, with those problems right over there that you should still have in front of you. Some numbers have relationships, and when you find a common thing between two equations, the work should get a little bit easier for us. Okay, so remember that. Remember that also as we continue today in your student books. Okay, so today in your student book, you are only working on page 142. I only want you to work on page 142 today. But as you work on page 142, keep what we talked about today in mind. Think about constant difference. How is constant difference showing up today? Maybe it's not, but maybe it's showing up somewhere else. Keep it in mind. Okay? So page 142 is right here. Okay? That's what it looks like. Page 142. Okay? It's called rolling dice. Okay? Hey, and if you have some extra time, I want you to go back and do page 141 as well. Okay? That's all you got to do today. Hey, that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for listening today. And I will see you tomorrow.